Brian is a total power banker. Just don't let Mike charge them. Miss Worm, we always thank her, but it's not enough cause she's a gem. The UK Prepper Network will survive with a bond that can endure. When your only goal's to stay alive, real Coca-Cola is the cure. And he is about to saddle the tiger when he's not aboard his UFO. Barry's out with his Geiger, counting rads that made his beard go. The UK Prepper Network will survive with a bond that can endure. When your only goal's to stay alive, real Coca-Cola is the cure. World survival is our mission. Out in rivers, careful stepper. Alan led with his vision. Defo still no prepper. Hawkins, hacking Hawkins. We've seen his face and let's just say it's enough to take to your eyes with pins. And of course his radio skills pay the way. The UK Prepper Network will survive with a bond that can really hit. When your only goal's to stay alive, Mike took way too long riding this shit.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Preppers Fireside. Got a full house tonight, as you can see, joined by the mystery that is Hawkins. Is he there? He's muted. Are you there, Hawkins?
Yep, here, mate.
There you go.
I'm here.
Beyond is Hawkins there. So welcome. Brian, the Scottish Prepper 73, here as always, drinking his poison on screen to get me demonetized with that crap.
Cheers,
Andy,
Brian.
the Bombardier, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, all good, mate. You?
Excellent. And joined by our guest tonight, which is John, Welsh Prepper. John, for anyone that's not seen you on the random open mic the other night, do you want to briefly tell us why you're here as a guest speaker?
Yeah, I joined the open mic the other night. My day job is critical national infrastructure resilience. I also spent 20 years in the RAF, but on the tactical side of it, supporting the army. So enjoyed that chat. Asked Mike if I could come along as a guest, so he very kindly let me in. I don't know whether he'll invite me back, but we'll see.
The bar's low. You've met Brian.
We get invited back.
It's way down there.
Welcome to all our chat. This is a live Q&A tonight, so please get your questions in, no matter if it's a small thing about your prepping, it's something more big and more philosophical. By all means, get your questions in there. We'll get through as many as we can tonight. If there's anything specific that maybe John can answer, Andy can answer, Hawkins, anything like that, now's your time to get them in.
Oh, I'm just invisible then. I'm just here for the eye candy.
You're just here when
Jesus
it goes to power bank,
Christ.
we can all have a fucking nap.
Honestly.
Brian is here for the eye candy. It is true. It is true. We've got a few questions to start us off. Before that, though, Northern Prepper became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Really appreciated. I'm not sure if you're on my channel or Brian's. It doesn't matter. I appreciate it either way. And Dave all sent a £10 super sticker, which is awesome. Just remember, whichever channel you're watching this through, I think Andy and Brian are both streaming this to their channels. Make sure you like and support their channels every way you can as well. It's really appreciated. And we'll give the first question honor to our lovely Miss Worm. She asks, what's the weakness in your preps? Why do you think you've allowed it to become a weakness? And what are you going to do about it? Very interesting question there. We'll pitch you, Hawkins, first.
My biggest weakness is financial, as in I don't have enough in savings because I spend it all on prepping stuff, which I do need to address. I address it in some ways, as in I've got a pretty steady job, and so does the wife, and I've got insurances coming out the wazoo. I've got, critical illness, all that sort of stuff. Well? A little bit, but then I kind of stopped because baby and money was tight. So obviously I want to get back into it, but look at the price of it now, but it's probably only going to go up. So I should start again. But yeah, just need to work on the financial side of it. That's my biggest thing, because, more than likely that's what's going to go wrong at some point, isn't it?
Yeah, at some point, definitely. Brian, what's your weakness in preps? If you say power, I'm gonna throw something heavy at you.
My inability to convince others to prep, I would have to say, because
I feel like that's
that
a cop out. That's a
it's
cop
not
out.
though.
What's the
It's not
weakness in
because
your preps?
well, it is. If I had a more convincing argument, extended family and immediate family would be prepping. So I'm obviously not good enough at it to convince them. And the weakness to that is sooner or later, either family or friends, if the shit hit the fan, I would be put in the horrible position of having to either say, yes, here's some stuff, and then they come back later potentially, or even worse, having to say no. So that then means
Why
I
is
have
that?
to get.
Why is that a bad thing? I would take great pleasure in saying, sorry, tried to get you to do it. You didn't do it. You're on your own.
We say that though, but in the cold light of day, being faced with having to turn a loved one away or a friend, I don't think it would be that easy or clear cut, because you'd have to measure how long you think the disaster's likely to happen versus your heartstrings. I mean, if you'd a power cut for
what?
3 days,
Heart, did you say?
yeah. Well, for normal people, I forgot you were an electrician, so for mere
Engineer.
mortals, I'm an engineer by trade. He just pulls wires.
Right. Okay. Andy, have you got a real answer for us instead of Brian's?
That is a real answer.
Yeah. Perfectly. Ooh.
Yeah, mate, fitness.
Good one.
Massively let it slide. And I think that's mainly because I left my old job not last December before, and then I got through into a new one, which was a steep learning curve, and it kind of just fell by the wayside, mate, to be honest. That's why I've been in the section of Discord, mate. So I've lost what now 16 kilos.
Nice.
And I've
Excellent.
started.
I found it.
So I've started doing my Olympic weightlifting again, mate. Started running again, rucking again. So yeah, so that would be for me, mate. And
So you're joining me on the West Highland Way then?
yeah, I don't mind, mate. I don't mind coming with you.
Definitely.
And
Need
doing
to
a
get
bit of
that
it.
side.
But yeah, so and purely made just complacency, I think.
Easy
But
done.
now, yeah, easy done, mate. Yeah.
Hold on, somebody just said artillery never did fitness anyway.
Preparing the path.
You know what it is, mate?
That's
That's because he's a engineer. That's what it is.
Hey, those shelves don't lift themselves, do they?
Mate, exactly. Well said, John.
There you go. There you go. John's got your back. John, same question to you. Any gaps in your prepping, any weak points and how are you going to rectify that?
Yeah, the weak points are I don't know exactly what I've got stored. I know I've got enough of some things. I've probably got more. I've got enough first aid stuff to look after Gaza. But because that's what I'm good at. Yeah, I've done first aid and sort of first responder, critical care stuff for decades. So I'm sort of tend to drift towards what I know. I know I've got a load of tins and I've got a load of food. I don't know exactly how much. And yeah, I think my fear is I'm probably going to get caught out if it goes horribly wrong. But so that's what I need to improve on, is just the organization and the logging of my preps.
Well,
You
I've
need a
just
spreadsheet.
released the sheets thing that I've put out there that you can download and you can catalog it all and it works out the dates, everything. It's spot on. Or if you're Brian and can't work technology, you just get a crayon on a whiteboard and count the tins. That's what he does. Thank you for that question, Miss Worm. Appreciate that one. Let me unstar that. I'm going to be selective with some of them so we can kind of go on topic as well. Phil had a question for John. Are you aware of plans to audit, rehabilitate shelters for civilians for SHTF? Has that ever been a thing discussed or on the cards?
So as far as I know, and I'd just like to point out at this point, I'm not going to say anything that's classified. This is all open source stuff, all stuff that you can find out for yourselves. It's out there, it's just finding it. But I do not know of any plans to rehabilitate nuclear shelters. I know that there are plans in place and they are exercised regularly during the winter for sheltering people who have suffered power cuts, things like sports halls and community centres and things like that. There are there are quite a lot of community centres, especially on the Highlands and Islands, that have been given grants by the Scottish Government to install generators and kitchens, soup kitchen-y type stuff. So that is ongoing, and it's all, you know, improving all the time. But as far as sort of what we call nuclear shelters, I don't know of any plans.
No, they've got plans for themselves, just not for us.
There never was any for us in the first place to repurpose anyway.
Well, there was the London Underground. That was about it, right?
Or the Royal
For the
Observer
Second
Corps.
World War.
Northern Line.
The Royal Observer Corps.
Yeah, Royal Observer Corps.
The concrete porta cabins of death.
The coffins.
More likely to kill each other from cabin fever within 3 days than survive.
Yeah, that's it. Before anything's even dropped.
Yeah.
I'm just going to Hawkins' house. That's fine. I've got my bug up, man. All right.
Door's locked.
There's always a way. In the era of tariffs before SHTF, what are your top foreign import recommendations? Sugar from, I don't know, molasses?
Body armor plates from Temu.
There you go. There you go.
Antibiotics.
We've joined
Because
the club,
30%.
haven't we? Joined the club.
I've been set up.
Have you all been by body armor? What have I missed?
I know.
It was a video I did years ago.
You
weeks
don't
and
worry,
months ago.
You don't worry yourself about it, Hawkins. You just trust that lock on your door. Ignore the fact us three don't know where you live and we have body armor.
This feels like the Red Wedding off Game of Thrones, where all of a sudden she realizes everyone's got body armor. And, you know, me and John are going to get shot.
Am I the pregnant wife?
That's my job.
You look good in a dress, mate.
Well, I've got the legs for it, mate.
I mean,
Fat guys have always got good legs.
Timu's a good shout in general, right, for that kind of question, because I know we're getting tariffs whacked on us start of February from importing stuff into the United States, but we don't know. That's a very difficult relationship, isn't it, with China and stuff? We don't know when that's going to either whack the prices up or stuff's simply not going to arrive.
The one I would worry about is the sheer volume of medication that comes from the States, even the precursor chemicals to make it here. So that could cause problems overnight, literally overnight. So if you've got that tooth infection, you need to see your online doctor about that abscess for your amoxicillin or whatever. You might want to get that treated now.
Yeah, all of them.
Yes, for the whole family.
I mean, we import a lot of medications from Israel as well, funnily enough. We import a lot of medications from them as well. So there's all sorts of things that can affect that supply chain. And it may not affect it like, oh no, we've run out of everything. It'll be a case of you'll be used to one medication, then you'll suddenly go to the doctor and say, we've got to change you over to this one, this totally different brand, you know. Ignore the Chinese writing and the Temu shipping label. Cool. Thanks for the question, Phil. Miss Worm says, has Welsh Prepper got the channel so I can link? You've not got a YouTube channel.
No, I'm a proper amateur.
No, that's good. It's the way to be. It's the way to be. Just come on here and, you know, you can say what you want and not worry about demonetizing other people. That's the only reason Hawkins comes on, to try and cause an upset. Brian, any thoughts on PPE, safety glasses, etc.?
Yes, I keep boxes and boxes of disposable gloves, boxes of large, thick bin bags, boxes of paper disposable suits. I've got boxes of safety glasses as well, respirators, spare canisters, that sort of shit. But depends what you mean by PPE. That's for one aspect. Arguably, body armor would be PPE, depending on the situation. So it could encompass a lot.
Yeah. Andy, PPE, safety stuff, gas masks, NBC suits.
No, I've got nothing like that, mate. But I've pretty much got everything that Brian said. And I've got a lot of I've got a lot of e-defense now as well, mate. Especially with my left knee being shot. Yeah. And I think the last thing I went to, so I'm going to need hearing aid by I'm 40. So that's what, 4 years off. So I've got a lot
There's
of
no way you're under 40.
to try and prolong it as long as I can. So I've got and all the stuff that Brian mentioned, but I've got nothing in terms of MBC or CBR or anything like that.
No, I just picked up a mask the other day actually, but I've got the CBRN suits I've got have a 1996 date stamped on them. I've not broke the seal yet, but will be interesting when it comes to it.
I didn't think you believed in protection, Mike.
How many is it now? What are you up to? Eight is
17.
37.
It doesn't matter how many kids I've got. I've got one gas mask, and that's mine.
I also run question. How many known children have you got?
37.
There might be no. I've got 5.
Wow.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Fuck off! You'd put the Waltons to shame.
I've got 5, but I don't go to Blackpool anymore, and I can't go to Italy on holiday anymore. But that's all we'll say about that. John, you must have a bucket load of PPE being in the industry.
Yeah, I'm sort of light on the CBRN stuff. I got paper suits. I've got a couple of Paslow respirators with spare filters, but I've not gone full NBC. Gloves and boots and all that sort of thing. As has been said before, got plenty of disposable gloves, both the sort of the surgical ones and the ones you can buy, the sort of the light industrial ones that got a rubber coating on the front but a fabric on the back. You can get those cheap as chips. And strangely, a couple of pairs of knee pads. For some reason, I think I'm going to need knee pads when it all goes horribly wrong.
Do you know what? It's a great prep, especially for anyone getting older and stuff like that. The amount of stuff you might have to do on your knees, Brian, to survive, you'll never know. I can see you shaking your head because you've got so many things to say.
Those silver coins won't earn themselves.
Over that.
The things I'll do for a can of Pepsi, yeah.
Hawkins PP.
Yeah, what everyone else has said, and then I've just ordered and delivered this week a bunch more of the Tychem 6000s, which are like the thicker, like sort of chemical incident sort of suits, and then tons of masks and things like that, full face ones. But I kind of want to get a battery powered one at some point, so it'll like positive pressure your mask and make it easier to breathe, so you're not sucking it through, with your lungs. So yeah, that's on the list. So, but yeah, everything else I'm happy with.
And so basically an iron lung on your face is like, breathe for me. I'm such a lazy prepper.
You get them ones that strap to your waist, don't you? You know what I mean? Chuck a couple of batteries in them and throw a couple of filters.
You do realise, mate, anything that has any remote working part will burst into flames as soon as Mike turns up at your door. So you better off to spend on something else.
Listen, I've been round his house multiple times and nothing's set on fire yet. Touch wood.
But you do sit underneath a 6 kilogram fire extinguisher in the garage.
Well, you keep sitting me there. You won't let me sit anywhere else. I don't know talk about paranoia. Thank you for the question, Marty. Hopefully that gave you some insight into the kind of things we have and the kind of things you can get. Brian Honeybear Beard said your eye candy for the Braille readers. There you go. There you go.
I'm okay. See, I'm okay with that because that just means they have to actually touch me to just then get disgusted, right? If they can see me, then they know it's not worth it.
Thank you for the super chat earlier on, Dave, because this will be demonetized in every other way. So if you can support in any way, that's really appreciated. Some normies are not very resilient. Are very not resilient. Okay. If you feel SHTF is imminent, how do you inject resilience for them quick? Ooh, good question. We'll finish with you, John, if you're the expert. We'll start with you, Andy.
I don't think you can, mate, for the sole purpose of, mate. I think building resilience has to do with being put in difficult situations and then discovering you can make your way through it. Mm-hmm. Discovering how to get through it in a mental way, and also figuring problem solving and figuring out how to get through it in a physical way. So I don't think there's a quick way, mate, to instill resilience, especially if something happens on a Monday. I don't know how you would instill resilience by a Tuesday. I think it's more of a long-term strategy for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose if you're thinking about other family members and that, I suppose, is there something you can have in place to, give them like here's the bag or the box I've prepared for you is the other thing I was thinking of that possibly. I'm not sure.
But then you're not building resilience, are you, mate? You're just giving them a safety blanket.
Yeah.
For 48 hours, 72 hours, or whatever it would be.
Hopefully that's enough.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Hawkins, same question.
I don't think you can. Like you probably saw in the Discord group last week, I put a picture of 2 big 20-litre water canisters that I'd offered to my next door neighbour and said, chuck these in the back of your garage in case the water's ever off. And he went, nah, it's all right. And then, this week there's been all those water issues down in Kent Way and whatnot, being plastered all over the news. I was kind of expecting a text maybe saying, if you still got them, I might chuck them in my garage. But no, radio silence. And people just don't have that mindset, do they? They're just...
It'll never happen to me, right? That's the attitude. It'll never happen to me.
Thick, mate, is what it is. But I will take great pleasure now that if the water is ever off and he knocks on, have you got any water? I will take great pleasure in literally going, no, I offered you water.
No, but I've got them 2 empty canisters that you can still take. Oh, excellent. Brian?
I don't think you can make the person more resilient in short order. I think you could make them more resilient to the effects of the situation. And by that, I mean either helping them with kit or by saying, go to every cash line you can find within the next 20 minutes and draw out as much as you can and get yourself to the local corner shop and buy in water and everything in the tins they'll sell you. So that's not making them resilient, but it's making them per se as a person, but it's making them more resilient to that particular disaster or situation. So I think that's probably the best way I can answer that.
Fair enough. And John, yourself, when it comes to resilience, I mean, I know this says imminent. How do you inject resilience for them quick? But how do you inject resilience into the general population?
Yeah, so it's already started. If you go back 12 months, 24 months, resilience wasn't talked about at all. Having food in your house wasn't talked about at all. Being prepared for power cuts wasn't talked about at all. It's slowly seeping into the mainstream media now. Chief of Defence Staff, as I said the other night, was directly questioned about the other day, and that made the mainstream press. So the government is gently drip feeding into the mainstream media that you might want to do something about this, but we're not going to tell you because that would imply that we're all going to war.
Well, that's it. Isn't it? They're too scared to cause some sort of like panic or
absolutely,
but they kind of need to.
Yeah, it's a culture, and we just haven't got it in the UK. You're well aware that Sweden, Norway, Finland, it's part of the culture. Kids grow up being self-resilient. Kids grow up going out and starting fires, and with the mindset that they need to be self-resilient before they have to rely on the government. We just haven't got that in the UK, and a culture change takes a decade. So if shit hits the fan is imminent, we've already missed the boat. What I would say is if you want to study this sort of thing, if you look at the Texas winter outage 2021, it's really interesting because government, not just the UK government, government's assumptions are that there'd be riots in the street and people stabbing each other for a toilet roll within 48 hours. Texas, after 10 days in the freezing cold, bearing in mind this is a state that's got more guns than people, they were still queuing, orderly queues for food, and they were pushing the old people to the front to make sure they didn't stand out in the cold too long. So assuming that society is just going to break down within 72 hours, it maybe isn't exactly accurate.
It depends on society, right? Because Spain took 3 hours.
That was it. Yeah.
Spain took 3 hours before they were fighting over water and stuff. And I've been to Texas. To be fair, walking around the streets of Dallas, Fort Worth, anywhere like that, they're a lot more respectful than you get walking around the streets of Manchester.
Do do you not think there's a different? I've only been to the US once, and I was in Florida, but there was a difference in my mind, thinking that he could have a gun, he could have a gun, he could have a gun, he could have a gun.
Yeah, so
And
be
if
nice just in case.
exactly, you're in that sort of don't want to push it too far because he might just shoot me sort of mentality. So
I reckon that does in some way, but it's just I hate this. I blame the parents, right? Because it's their upbringings. I mean, you've got say what you want about the United States. You've still got a generation of kids coming up calling the elder gentleman sir and the elder women ma'am and stuff like that, and we just don't have it. Do you know the only place I see that discipline still practiced is on the rugby pitch?
Yeah.
And they still call the referee sir and stuff like that. But on the football pitch, they call the referee lots of things, but it's never sir. But yeah, I think there's a cultural difference in that, and it's scary, John, but it'll be interesting to see which avenue we go down, because the optimist in me would love to think that with a blitz spirit would be alive, we'd be helping all our neighbors, and everything could be wonderful. But the person in me that read 1 second after is going, die, you're all going to kill me. So
I got that book for Christmas. I've not got around to opening it yet.
Oh, you need to read it. Oh,
Okay.
you need to read it. Highly recommended. It changed the way I prep. Genuinely. It gave me lots of tips as well.
I'll make that a priority.
Yeah, so
it shows you people's psychology in a disaster in a very accurate manner. I think it blew my mind.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you for the question, Phil. I can always trust you for plenty of questions. If Captain Mannering was around today from Dad's Army, how many years would he be serving in prison with his social media posts for keeping the Rock Emporium free from the beach invaders? Thank you, Amphia. Really appreciate the question. We don't have an answer.
He'd be serving life. You'd have a life sentence.
There you go. Andy's answered that one. Captain Mannering, he'd still be serving in the regular military, though, wouldn't he? They'd bring him back till he's 65 now. Killer 71 for Welsh Prepper. Do the government have any discussions around what might happen if there was a grid down event lasting more than a couple of weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. So they already have a plan for if the grid goes down for 10 days. In fact, I've got it in front of me here. It's called the ESEC, the Electricity Supply Emergency Code. You can download that, open source, put ESEC, government.uk ESEC, and you can have a look at that. And it's about a 36-page document. And it basically tells you that they're going to, first of all, invoke emergency powers under the Energy Act, and then how they're going to reconnect you all very slowly over a 10-day period. And at the back is some annexes. I got this out in preparation. This is level 10. So anything black is when they're going to cut your power off.
That looks like a QR code. Are you trying to get us to buy something here, John?
Now, if you have a look on your electricity bill, there's a little box on your electricity bill somewhere, maybe on the top right, and it's got a letter.
Okay.
And mine is an S. So if you follow these things, and you can have a look at it, that's the sort of the least punitive one. If you went down to S, you'd see when your power is going to go off and on. Now you can use that to your advantage as a prepper, especially if you're in a community. The codes change literally sometimes house by house, but more normally street by street. So your street could be a T, and next door could be an A, or the next street along could be an A. So if you've got a friend who lives in A and you live in T, you can swap about to make sure you've got power to recharge your power banks and all that sort of thing, or just keep warm in the same room. So if you've got a little community, find out what the codes are, and you can flip around houses if you needed to.
I don't get electricity bills. I wonder if that's if it's on the
because you don't charge anything.
Well. But yeah, so what would happen is in the immediate 48 hours, the energy companies who are Cat 2 responders, they are legally charged by the government to get the network up and running, and they would keep what's called priority sites going first: hospitals, major call centers, government buildings, that sort of thing. And then they would slowly rotate the system around to get what's called NETS, the National Electricity Transmission System, all the big power lines and all the substations. They've got to push energy into them to keep it simple, and they can't activate them all at once because it would just blow everything. So they rotate the energy around and cut people off and connect people on a rotation basis until they've re-energized the network up to full power. That can take 7 to 10 days. But they haven't got a plan outside of 10 days yet because they just don't see it happening. And that's maybe a weakness, is that grey zone warfare, cyber warfare beyond 10 days hasn't really been considered.
So, I mean, you say because they've not considered it being more than 10 days. Have they give you any sort of indication of likelihood of it happening in general?
Yeah, there's loads of analysis going on. Much more clever people than me issue a sort of a risk matrix every year. So in about September, October, this risk matrix comes out and it says what are the chances of us having power cuts this year, and they give a percentage and like a rating for the impact.
They got pulled up on that for last year when we nearly had basically a mini grid down event on the 8th of January last year, because they were accused of fudging the figures, Nestle. They put out that we're going to have a glut of excess power, and they hadn't accounted for the Duncanfeld, whatever, how you pronounce it, the low wind event.
Duncanfeld, is it? Something like that?
That's the one. So they didn't account for that. And then they've got agreements in place that they keep contractors on standby with the gas plants to meet extra capacity. They'll ramp up, turn the turbines faster, generate more power, or be in standby mode to give you electricity should they need it. Well, since the unit cost was so high, they were already turning and burning anyway, so they weren't there to provide the capacity that they'd already been paid to provide, and they were contractually obliged to provide. So we were this close from not a rota disconnect like that with the postcodes and numbers. It would have been a
total disconnect.
The closest I've seen was when they put the sanctions on Russia, and most of our gas was coming from Russia, and suddenly had to stop bringing it from Russia and bring it over from America. But that takes a few days, and came very close to having scheduled power cuts, which is different to this stuff here. Is for a national power outage that is unplanned. They do also have a plan for if they know they're going to be short of electricity, they will inform you. They'll say to you, tomorrow night your electricity is going to go off between 7 and 10 in this area. So you will get, there will be messaging in the media, TV, radio, that sort of thing, social media.
So I mean,
go on.
Carry on.
Just to finish the point here, there are also various electrical power lines that come from France, from Denmark, from Germany, from Belgium, Ireland, and they can draw on that if they need to. But of course, they will charge an absolute fortune if we want to suck some electricity in. If the UK wants to suck electricity in to keep the lights on. Yeah.
And that'll definitely have a knock-on effect to the consumer, I have no doubt. I mean, the short answer for that then for Killer 71, he's saying an event lasting more than a couple of weeks. You're basically saying, no, they have nothing in place planned if it's beyond 10 days.
I don't know of anything in place. It may just be that I'm not high enough in the food chain, but all the plans I know of, and which is open source, you can download it off the internet, is for 10 days. Everything will be back to normal within 10 days.
Okay, I have faith. Honest, yeah. The government's coming to save me.
If it goes past 3 days, I don't think it'll be on for a while.
Yeah,
because once you get past 3 days and all the cell towers which do all the Tetra and stuff for the emergency service, once all the batteries are dead in them, trying to coordinate
no coordination
to anything is so difficult. Everything's comms, isn't it? Like, and once nobody can talk to anybody else, can't see it. But
there was an unnamed government department that we had a big national power outage exercise a couple of years ago. I won't name the department, but they had so many people in the same room they had to evacuate it because the carbon monoxide detectors went off because the air conditioning couldn't keep up.
Wow.
So they learned something from that.
Oh, at least they're learning something. The words piss up and brewery come to mind. Phil says, read what, sorry, and yes, Sylvester answered, Grump answered with 1 second after. That's what we were talking about there. Loads of questions coming in. I might not get to them all tonight, guys. I will do my best. We'll prioritize what we can. I need JP in here clicking on things. Leanne Mack, with the USA confirming they are definitely going into Iran and the IRGC backed into a corner and losing, what are the chances of them activating worldwide sleeper cells?
I thought it was all calming down over there.
The chances of them trying to are high. The chances of it actually happening, I don't know, because I think our intelligence agencies are quite on the ball with who they're monitoring and stuff like that. So it would all depend. Andy, what do you think about that one?
I wouldn't know, mate. I wouldn't have a clue on what percentage it would be or how many there is, or if I give an answer, mate, it would be purely a stab in the dark. I really don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, it's something worth being vigilant over than more than anything else, because we don't know, right?
Oh yeah, of course it is. 100%. Mate. I mean, if you saw the threat level go up to the highest that we've got, then I would imagine the situation is pretty dire, and you're pretty much looking at 100% chance of it happening.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Iran there, Brian?
They didn't go in last week because they didn't have all the assets in place they wanted. The Americans moved a carrier battle group towards Iran a couple of days ago, started heading that way. So his reason for not striking at that time was due to them not hanging the guy. But he's a man for distractions, and his mood changes like a hook or thong. All the time there's something going on, and he's distracting from domestic problems and his own failings. As far as the IRG doing something, MI5, as good as they are, they'll follow who they know about. At the moment, we have got boatloads of people that they don't know about. We're not talking about a guy that's coming over on a student visa that's flown into Heathrow and they're watching him in a bed sit because they know he's a bit naughty and they've got a paper trail as they come through border control. We've got tens of thousands that have got no documentation. Now, it doesn't take Albert Einstein to realise that if you're watching years and years of uncontrolled migration, that you might be able to slip a few through. Right? And that's not talking about somebody running amok with an AK-47 down Euston Road. That could be somebody jumping in a taxi and running over half a dozen people. So how likely is it? I don't know, but there's a few possibilities right off the bat.
Yeah, I'd feel like we've got more of a threat than some other countries have with that kind of situation. Hawkins, any thoughts on that to add?
If I was the Ayatollah, and I thought,
you very like you could be. Nobody
knows.
We don't know.
With my blue hair. If I was the Ayatollah and I felt like I was going to be dethroned from power and potentially buried alive in a bunker or killed or whatever, I would throw all my toys out the pram before I went, because that's why you've got your toys, isn't it? So all these missiles, all these sleeper cells, I would activate and do everything, because why not? If you'd just be like the one last fuck you, wouldn't it, to the world? Like if you genuinely thought it was going to happen, you would.
If you ever read a book, Sorry, Mike, on you go.
I was just going to say that's what the biggest fear is for me. It's never been Vlad or large nations going to war as such. It's these dictators that have nothing left to lose. You back Kim Jong-il into a corner, he'll press every red button he can reach. If he thinks he's about to be regime overthrown, or the Navy SEALs have just put death rays onto his ears and stuff, he's going to press every button he can.
I would have a little red button now on a pressure switch that I had to keep hold of that would launch every single missile that I had. And as soon as they shot me, I'd let go of it, and then I'd just have a little smile as I died. Well, that's me.
That's
maybe
you.
Maybe
he's a lovely guy, really. If you come down to the meet, you get to meet him.
Your neighbours must love you. Honest to fuck.
Isn't that the last scene of Terminator?
There's a book, if you get a chance to read it, called 2006 Total War. I'll paraphrase, but basically at the end of it, the Iranians are attacking Israel, kind of like they've been doing at the moment, back and forwards. So they saturated their defences, the Iron Dome, with missiles over a period of days to see what would get through. And then in their last gasps before they get wiped out, they fired missiles with anthrax and botulism into Israel and wiped out the country. So the Israelis started then lobbing nukes into Iran, and then the Americans basically nuked Israel because they were all dying to a man and a woman child, and they decided it was easier just to kill them than to let them kill millions and millions of people. It's an amazing book that I've just ruined there. Just to say that, I've just fucking ruined the
Don't
book.
need to read that now, guys.
No.
So hope you enjoy not
Cheers,
reading
There's
Right.
a spoiler alert.
Oh no, but that's the premise of it. It's a very good book, but it
That's
speaks
the
to
premise
desperation.
and the ending.
I reckon
Yeah.
I'd have enjoyed that book.
It's just when I said all that, I'm going, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
To be fair, mate,
Anyway,
just one on that.
Sorry, go on.
Just one on the sleeper cells. If we have sleeper cells here, then they are in every single country in mainland Europe.
Mhm.
Every country. Because once you hit mainland Europe, mate, you can go anywhere. There's no border checks. So there will be all over the country. It's so easy to move through Europe once you're on the mainland. There's no checks. So if they're here, they'll be all over Europe. And if they activate them here, they'll activate them everywhere. It won't just be here. So it will like be absolute carnage.
Yeah, definitely. It's scary. It's a scary thought. Like all these doctors and engineers running amok. Who knows what they're going to do.
It's always engineers, mate. Always.
So it's engineers. Any thoughts on any more thoughts on that, John?
Yeah, a little slightly different perspective is if the IRGC and the regime is collapsing, the levers on these sleeper cells, are they truly Islamic fundamentalists, or is it because their family might be in jeopardy if they don't do what the IRGC tell them to do? So would they just sort of melt away because there was no point? I don't know, just a different viewpoint.
Potentially, or even
It's a good
pay
one.
saboteurs who's going to pay the bills if they collapse. So yeah.
True, mate.
No,
You've
no,
probably
it's
got a 50-50 mix. You've probably got
Aye.
people like John say who were pressured by the IRGC, and then you've probably got the other half, mate, are true believers.
Yeah.
It's probably 50-50 mix, I would imagine.
Well, time will tell. Hopefully not. But thanks for the question. And it's very very insightful, that one, Liam Mac. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Have you thought to build a mini bunker or mini sandbag bunker? I'm considering if I can move somewhere higher to avoid flooding. Anyone building a bunker? Raise your hands. Hawkins, go ahead. Sorry.
If I
What
had
he
a-
said was,
if I
have
had
you
a spare
thought about it?
20K, I'd like to.
What he asked was, if you thought about it. I'm sure every one of us thinks about it every single day, because I know I do. I've even got the plans in my head right down to the nuts and bolts. I just can't do it. I don't have the money or the space. But yeah, me personally, I think about it every single day.
You could build a one of the at-home ones from like World War II.
There's a company selling Anderson shelter kits now. They've started making them. You can buy the kit. But if it was me, you can get a 12 mil thick septic tank, and it's 32 foot long by 12 foot in diameter, with one entrance and one exit, and I think it's about 16 grand. So if I had the money and the space, I would slot that straight into the ground.
Interesting. I've always fancied building one of the World War II ones just as a fun exercise to do. I don't think it would give us any protection. I mean, it depends what. Yeah.
Were you army, Mike? You were army, weren't you?
I trained. I never served abroad.
I was just saying, you just can't get away from digging, can you, army types? I just want to move earth. Give me a spade.
To be fair, mate, that's all the engineers do. Just dig. Dig holes.
I was infantry, so it's like an engineer without a brain, so it's even worse. No, I've always fancied doing what. So there was a company actually. They had plans of these bunkers where it's like the World War II ones, which where it's like half above ground, half below, and stuff like that.
Anderson shelter.
Yeah, like the Anderson shelters, but like made with sandbags and earth and stuff like that. And they were trying to sell them for 10 grand. So they'd come to your house and dig a hole and put some sandbags around and charge you 10 grand. So if somebody's paying that, I'm up for doing that. But I fancy doing one as an experiment. But for me, this question would depend what you're prepping for, right? Because we all think of bunkers like Anderson shelters as like, oh yeah, what's the point? If 50 megatons gets dropped, then you're vaporized anyway. But if you think about the conflicts that are going on at the moment and the conventional warfare, just for rubble, debris, and stuff like that, is something like that valid?
I mean, the thing is, depends how big your garden is, because a lot of houses have got gas in them now, right? As well as electricity, might have gas central heating. if you're in a terraced row and you've got a 40-foot garden and you're building a shelter within 20 foot of it, there's a good chance the flames and the explosions are going to hit you anyway. So, like you say, it entirely depends what you're prepping for.
What about a Morrison shelter? I was had to Google the name then because I couldn't remember the name of it. But do you remember a Morrison shelter?
No, I've never heard of it, mate.
So a Morrison shelter World War II looked like a dining table, and generally they used it as a dining table, but it was solid steel legs and a solid steel platform, and it had cage mesh that dropped down. So basically, when the air raids were on, you'd all get under this Morris shelter, the dining table, basically, and you'd all huddle up under there. And if rubble dropped down, if the roof collapsed, you were safe in that, essentially.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Anyone else? Anything to add on shelters?
Just I can't afford.
So he tells us he's got a nuclear bunker in his garden.
No. I live in the west coast of Wales, so if they nuked New York, I'd have 5 days' notice. So I could do something by then. If they bombed Birmingham, the prevailing winds would carry it all away anyway. So my plan would just be to get into the centre of the house and try and live out for a couple of weeks in relative comfort under my duvet with my slippers, because I'm ex-RAF after all, so I want to be comfortable.
Think of that one.
Andy's sat there thinking, glad you said it, not me.
Check in, don't dig in.
Hawkins, you've not built one though?
No money yet, mate. I'd love one, but yeah, it's costing it.
I like the Colin Furs type one where it's under your back garden or under your driveway.
See if somebody's looking for one off the shelf that you could set up in your garden in a day. Have a look at concrete canvas tents. They deliver it by a pallet to your house, and you unroll it, and then it comes with a blower. You connect it up, and it blows it up inside, and then you wet it, and within a couple of hours the concrete's went off, and you can berm it, cover it in Hesco, whatever you want. So there you go. Have a look at concrete canvas tents.
Concrete canvas tents. There you go. There's a tent I can't set on fire, Andy, before you say it.
You could.
I have drilled a hole down through me garage floor to see what's underneath it and put a camera down there, and it's perfect for digging out. So it's a new build, so it's block and beam and insulated blocks, but I could easily cut a hatch through that and then start digging out under the garage. So yeah, we'll see how I get on in the future.
Yeah. Mr. T and Dr. P said the same thing. Depends what your shelter's for. Debris, fallout. You can build fallout shelter in a garage using bags of soil, wooden structure inside the garage and stuff like that. Yeah, and we all remember the protect and survive. You know, if there's going to be a nuke, just lean a couple of doors up on the corner, throw a mattress over, sleep in there for a few days, and you'll be fine. Everyone will be fine. But at least back then, John, they gave us a protect and survive leaflet. Right now, it's
that's true.
Bury head and don't care leaflet.
We've got a website now.
You are?
We've got a website now. It tells you to stock some water and have some food.
For a few days, yeah. In one SHTF film, a man was searching for Twinkies, I think it was. What would be your chocolate/treat you would search for? That's a good one. John,
Pepsi
you first.
Max.
Boost.
Oh, I love a Boost bar.
Just love a Boost. That's it. That's my answer.
That's your answer. Short and sweet. Andy, what chocolate or treat are you searching? None. He's lost 14 kilos. He's on lettuce. Starbar. Oh,
a Starbar.
No. You just ruined the Boost with nuts, haven't you? Starbar. Hawkins?
It'd be Pepsi Max, wouldn't it? Because the addiction is strong.
That's it. It's the infinite search for the last remaining.
Didn't read the question, did he?
No.
Well, it said chocolate or treat.
Wow.
So I put Pepsi Max as a treat. If it's just
if you drink Pepsi Max like it is water coming out the tap, it's no longer a treat. Yeah, the treat would be having some water so your body can chill out for a day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So many savages on this show.
You need to remember, mate. Coke and Pepsi is only for your electronics. It's only for your GoPros and stuff like
Your
that.
cameras and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I've got this bag full of electronics. What shall I put in here? Oh, I'll top it off a can of Coke.
Great idea, mate. Banging idea.
Don't know why I do this show anymore. It's just. All right, is that you sticking with Pepsi then, even though it's not a treat?
Or a Whisper, whatever.
A Whisper.
Oh, nice.
I'll take a Whisper. Brian.
Oh, cream eggs.
Oh, cream egg. Oh, I could take all. You can only have one. That's the problem with cream eggs for me.
Well, you're supposed to eat it, mate, and don't stick up your arse. You're doing it wrong, Mike.
Lord, give me strength. Sorry, John. You're on about, will we invite you back? Will you come back?
I
That's the question. For me, it's a Karamak. Just to break, the mold.
You're a terrible person.
I love
What?
a Karamak. Yeah.
A Karamak?
Karamak
They're
or a
like
gold
thin as
bar.
anything.
Oh, yeah, no, but it's good. It's Karamak.
I've never seen one of them since the 80s.
I was going to say, they don't make them anymore, do they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They definitely do.
Is it a museum you're looking for it?
Is that so you can give it to your kids?
It's just, listen, Karamaks are nice, gold bars are nice. That's my choice.
Okay.
Everyone else answered without getting shit. Fuck you all. And no, I'm not putting a pound in my own swear box. You can fight me. You have thought to build a mini bunker or sandbag bunker, considering I've already done that.
Done
It's twice. He must have put it in twice. Can you buy antibiotics online in the UK? No, you can't. You've got to get a prescription from your doctor. Unless, of course, you happen to want to sail around the world and you're going to be nowhere near a doctor, then you might be able to get a travel pack that contains antibiotics.
Anytime doctor.
Yeah, so if you're going to travel around the world, then yes, by all means. But other than that, we recommend getting a prescription from your doctor or getting that abscess sorted out, like Brian says, that you've been meaning to do.
Someone I know went to Kenya for a month and managed to get one of those travel packs. The disadvantage, I'm led to believe, is that they're quite expensive and you have to pay over the odds for things like paracetamol and aspirin and Imodium in them as well.
It's 100 quid.
Yeah,
to get the antibiotics. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not-
100 quid.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible, but it's not cheap.
yeah.
There's
It
cheaper
used to
ways
be-
to do it.
My four-wheel driving adventure to South America. I got one for that.
Yeah, there used to be a way you could do it with aquatics and fish.
Yeah,
stuff,
they stopped
but
that.
That's all gone as well. Yeah. So look after your body, look after your health, look after your fitness, and you're less likely to need them.
I should probably stock up then.
Yeah.
About antibiotics, who here takes them? I've had one dose of antibiotics in my life when I was 12, and I've never had another one since.
2 or 3, but
Yep.
it's always been tooth related.
Right.
But
Yes,
to be
that's
fair,
right.
Hawkins,
When you took
we've
that
seen you.
selection.
Yeah.
That would have put me off taking them again as well.
Yeah. If that's the side effects. No, I mean, I tell you one thing I will mention though is antibiotic creams. Neosporin's a great one. You can only get it on eBay. You can't get it on Amazon. There is some sort of legislation technically, but you can still get it technically, but it's all weird. But also Amazon do a version of it, which is just 3-in-1 triple antibiotic cream. All right. It's a good, just in case, it's actually really good. Everyone knows Mrs. Urban Prepper's had terrible skin condition. When it was all cracked and she could barely walk, it was the only thing that healed it within hours. So it's really good for all sorts like that. If you've got a cut in SHTF, a rusty nail, and you can't go and get a tetanus, clean it as best you can. Some of that on is going to help. It's better than nothing. So that's something you can get in the UK, and it's always worth stocking up on for me. Thank you for the question. Brian's better rigged than Zelensky. There you go. I don't know.
I'll keep a few things.
Powerfang radios, yes or no? Hawkins, that's one for you.
If that's all your budget can adhere to and purchase, then yeah, it's better than nothing. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not high end. The biggest problem with them, I think I've said before, is spurious emissions. So you're on one frequency, and the they're built that badly that they're actually transmitting on several different frequencies across different bands. So it might not be affecting you, but the general radio world, you'd be causing some interference with. I mean, they've got better over the years, so they're not all like that. But I know the new Baofeng Mini, which has got quite popular, that's very bad for spurious emissions, apparently. So, yeah, I'd recommend something a bit better if you can, but something's better than nothing. So, but obviously, you need a license to use it. So,
I'm just looking at my list here. I think I've got. Is it the Retevis RA89 one that you said?
yeah, I prefer them.
Yeah, that's
The
currently
Retevis.
that's not bad though. That's currently reduced from 70 down to 52 at the moment on Amazon.
Yeah, that's the 10 watt one. It's nice. It's waterproof. Big
Link
battery
in
on
the
it.
chat. Link in the chat. But yeah, that's on sale at the moment. So, and there's an RA79. I assume that's just a bit of a lesser model. So, yeah, cool. Anyone want to add anything extra on Baofeng?
I got one sealed, vacuum sealed in case I really need it one day.
Yeah, not a regular user. Yeah,
no,
that's cool. That's cool. Awesome. Right, Brian's got about 50 behind him on the shelf.
I think there's a few there.
feeling judged. He's feeling judged. When is that big snowstorm coming for you guys? Apparently, it's going to hit the 25th, 26th, according to the initial weather reports and weather maps. I've seen 12 different versions of these maps. Most of them have Wales and Scotland covered. Some spread down England. Some cover all of the entire country. So it depends which sensational headline you want to listen to. But listen, when it's not fear mongering when I put a video out or Brian puts a video out, anyone puts a video out about storms and stuff like that, use it as an opportunity to check your preps, to get ready, to make sure you've got everything in place. If it happens, what will you do? It's a training exercise at the end of the day. If nothing happens, which touch wood, we always hope nothing happens unless you're Hawkins and you want the world to end tomorrow so you can test your gear. Everyone else who's normal doesn't want stuff to happen, but use it as a training opportunity. So 25th, 26th is what I heard. Anyone heard different?
I think the weather charts this afternoon at 3 o'clock on WX charts was showing like a mini beast from the east coming in again, wasn't it? So I've not seen much about the snow, but it's definitely getting down to like -6, -7, -8 again. So
yeah,
fingers crossed, 12-foot snow.
Mike, can I just say to everyone, if you have a vulnerable person in your family, disabled, elderly, anyone who relies on medical equipment for day-to-day living, please register with your electricity company, with BT and your water company. You'll then be prioritized when they go around doing whatever they do. So it's free. You can just ring up your utility company and ask to be put on the vulnerable persons register, and you will be prioritized if there's any aid coming when it comes.
You can also get on said register if you've got kids under 2.
There you
under
go.
5. Under 5.
Okay, you must have been on for the past 20 years, have you, mate?
I've never been on. As soon as we start to creep off the register, I get another one.
I'm on the vulnerable thingy thing for my daughter, but it also gets you around the hosepipe ban. So if you are on the priority list, you circumvent the hosepipe bans, just so you know.
Everyone's dying of thirst, and Hawkins is watering his massive lawn, going, I'm on the list, it's fine.
You're going to have a sign in the front of the house.
Exemption. So we different maps, different sources, just be ready, Rob. That's the main recommendation. I think as a prepper, generally, if you've got stuff for a 5-day, 7-day period, most of these storms shouldn't affect you. As long as you're covering all the main bases, water, food, where to keep warm, where to cook your food, you're covering all the main fundamentals of prepping, and you've got at least a week, most of these weather warnings and stuff shouldn't affect you. Just don't take stupid risks and drive over the Pennines in the snow like I do.
And if your roof tiles stay on.
Yeah. Brian's roof blows off. If reserves age limit is now 65, do they get SLR or SA80 choice? One for you there, Andy.
They'll end up with a sharp pointy stick because there won't be enough weapons for everyone.
Yeah.
I think I saw the Imperial War Museums down the road from me. I'm sure they were filing out the muskets and stuff like that. You could have a regiment of flintlocks on the front.
Might as well go back to red tunics, mate.
Yeah. Why were they red tunics? Anyone know?
So you can't. So you couldn't see you bleeding.
Yes, there you go. Good man. John knows the
Oh, I
score.
never knew that.
Yeah. Because it was demoralizing if you saw uniforms covered in blood and wounds and stuff like that. So you couldn't see the
How
blood.
selfish of you to bleed and upset people.
I know. Plus, you could pass the uniforms on with minimal having to, do all that. So there you go, John.
Well,
spot on.
I'd take an SLR over an SA80, by the way, just to answer that last question.
Is that your choice?
I fired both, and an SLR will stop a Land Rover, but an SA80 won't.
An SA80, if you get a grain of dust or a drop of water in it, it's broke forever. It's the least durable rifle in the world. You'd be better off with an AK built by somebody in a shed. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious an incident are we expecting to happen in 2026? Ooh, interesting one. We'll start with John.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think there's potential for like an 8 if it all starts to go horribly wrong somewhere and a foreign nation decides to do a grey zone or cyber attack on us. We could have some issues. I think more likely be yeah. Oh. Sorry, I'm just reading the question.
Staple guns.
I got a very nasty injury from a staple gun once. I'll have you know.
Did you get a Victoria Cross for it?
Purple ribbon.
No, I think unlikely, but I think there's a potential for some sort of grey zone warfare cyber attack. That's my answer.
Okay, grey zone cyber attack. Okay, Hawkins.
I think there's the potential for the maximum, isn't there? Like, kind of talking what John's saying there. If Trump does decide to go all in on Iran, say next week, for instance, and the Ayatollah says "fuck you all," you could cyber attack the UK. He could deploy sleeper cells. He could set off every missile he's got from his little missile cities. He could have bought a nuke from Kim Jong-un for all we know.
I think we'd have seen it being shipped. It's not like a FedEx thing. So,
will I lose any sleep thinking about it? No. So, I don't know. You just carry on, don't you, and just hope for something to go wrong and get test your preps.
You don't. No, only you hope for something to go wrong. Keep calm and carry on. We'll leave it there without you saying the little bit. I just
don't want a nuke nearby. You can nuke Glasgow, that's fine. Just not nearby.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll vote for Glasgow.
I hope you two get fleas in your beards, you pair of bastards.
No, don't nuke anywhere unless it's St. James's Park. Brian, scale of 1 to 10, how serious an incident are we expecting in 2026?
It's an impossible answer to give an accurate answer, but potential I would say is 10, and that's basically because of the number of increasing risks, and the risks are increasing from the Ukraine war, and have got worse every year since, and they've been magnified by changes in leadership. They've been magnified by abnormal weather. They've been magnified by deteriorating infrastructure in the UK, and they've been magnified by a constant barrage of attacks, brinkmanships, and threats. So any one of those things could cause a 1 to a 10, but all of them combined, and one person making a poor choice, or a combination of events, it could go bad very quickly. So potentially I would go a 10. Realistically, I don't know. And like Hawkins, I'm not losing a minute's sleep over it, because we do what we do so that I don't worry.
We can only control our sphere of influence, right? There's no point sitting there with the doom and gloom and worrying about it all extra. Andy, same question.
Yeah, mate, I think a 10.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, mate, is remember the incident happened on the train back end of last year. For me, mate, that's a serious incident. So and I can't imagine, unfortunately, mate, that that's the last one we're going to see. You know, just based off the trend of last year, mate, of what happened. So it would be a 10 for me.
Yeah, we went from the synagogue straight to the train. It's just, it's so much happening. So, unfortunately, yes, in the scale we're on and stuff like that, I would tend to agree with all the lads there that it could be as serious as a 10. What I would say right now is we are on the 18th day of this year, and look what we've seen so far. I mean, hopefully this is the peak and it goes like this, and by Christmas we're all singing Kumbaya and World Peace. But the not so optimistic in me would think, shit, this is a hell of a year. The year of the prepper, as Brian said. We've got more questions which we'll go on to shortly, but before we do that, I want to take a minute to say, go and check out Brian's channel, Scottish Prepper 73, if you're watching on mine. All things power, all things like that. He does a bit of the news and stuff like that, but it's not doom and gloom. It's preparing you in the right way. It's a great channel, so make sure you get over there and like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Andy, the same. Bombardier, if you want really good kit reviews, trial and tested, if you want to see him take a grinder to Temu stuff to try and prove a point that doesn't get proved, anything like that, wreck a few tarps and stuff, then he's got a great channel for all of that. But he's also got another channel as well, Shadows and Sightings, where you can go and look at all the creepy stuff, cryptids, UFOs, and even his own personal experience, which is worth a listen to, if nothing else. So go and check that channel out as well. The other guys haven't got channels, so, you know, just come on to the Discord where we all are, which is fun and games.
Did Andy get abducted and get probed? You said
you have to go to his channel,
okay.
subscribe, like, and watch it to find out.
You know what, mate?
Tune in.
That is the only reason I'm going to do that walk with Mike. Because if there's anybody, mate, who it would go south so fast, I've got more of a chance seeing an alien with Mike than I have anyone else.
But nothing would happen. They would take him up into the ship, it would catch fire, and then they'd ditch him.
I'm the solution to the alien invasion.
Cause of death, spaceship fire.
Awesome. Also, while I have your attention, we've got our awesome Miss Worm as well, and all my moderators in the chat keeping you all in check. She has her own channel as well. So if you want a break from prepping and a break from the doom and gloom, and it's a bit of a step into the creepiness, go and check out her channel, and she'll read you some cool stories. And yeah, it's a great one to just relax, do the dishes, or fall asleep to, whatever you fancy.
And she's got a really good book, hasn't she, Mike, that you can probably tell us about?
She's got a really good book. I can't tell you about it. I bought it and never read it, so there you go.
Oh, Hawkins, tell them all about it.
I can't read. I have audiobooks. I told Miss Worm as soon as she...
It's quite spooky, isn't it? And I don't really want to give it away like you did with that film you talked about before or whatever, but yeah, it's quite spooky. That's all I can say.
Just generally, just kind of general idea of it.
Ghosts and things.
Ghosts and things.
Ghosts and shit,
Anyway.
right? Okay, that's...
all my links and everything are in the bottom of all my videos for my stuff. If you're watching on any other channels, just make sure you take the time to go around and subscribe to everybody. Come and join us on the Discord. We don't ask all your personal details, just an email if you want to become a full member, and that's about it. But it's a great community. Everyone's getting along. 430 people, I think, in there now. And it's John, you've joined recently. What do you think of the Discord?
I've not managed to. I tried to go on it today and I couldn't do it, so I think I'm gonna have to rejoin.
You're going to be like Steve.
Well, that worked well, Mike. Well done.
We'll sort that out afterwards anyway. But yes,
okay.
We'll get onto the Discord. Come and join us all. It's great fun and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
It does allow for different conversations, shall I say, than we can have on YouTube, doesn't it?
It does. We're still slightly limited, but we're still slightly limited. We try and police it so people don't get themselves in trouble in case anybody is looking. But the best way to avoid all that is come along to a prepper meet. And we've still got tickets to the Scottish prepper meet, which is the end of August, the bank holiday, £35 for a pitch, which you can bring the entire family to. And it should be a great fun weekend. Okay, that's all the sales stuff done. So, lads, are you ready to join the reserves and serve your country?
It appears I'm already in the reserves. Having come off the list last in September, having passed 55, it seems I've got another 10 years to do. So, yes.
Do you...
Look, you're going to the fucking 30.
There he goes, lying about his age again. Yes, I mean, have you had any notification of that, or is it just do you guys?
No, because I think a bit weirdly. I think this is just change of contract, so I'm looking forward to them writing to me to ask if I accept.
Interesting. That's a valid point. I wonder if people will challenge it based on that.
But yeah, would I spent 20 years in the Air Force. I know a little bit about this. The reserves, people like me, I was air traffic control. So I'd be trained up again to fill a basic air traffic control position, a ground controller at an airport or something. And I'd sit at RAF Shawbury or Brize Norton or somewhere like that. So the young things could go and do the proper fighting. So I don't see myself being put on the front line, because I've got skills. Anyone who's been in the military has got a certain skill. And that would probably be utilised in the UK, so that the active serving members would be sent to Greenland
Yeah,
to fight the Americans.
to fight the Americans.
Who thought we'd be saying that 2 weeks ago?
Andy, you ready to go and fight the Americans?
I generally don't think they'd want me back, mate, to be honest with you.
No, do you not think even with the hearing thing, they'd find something? You know what I mean?
Nah, because I was that much of a ball ache for them, mate. I generally don't think I really don't, to be honest with
You
you.
leave or get kicked out, Andy, let's be honest.
They couldn't wait to get rid of me, mate. So I really don't think they would want me back. I mean, there's also an element of it, mate. If I went in, I would be a pain in the ass again as well. Like, I wouldn't be shaving, I wouldn't be ironing my kit. Like 100%, mate, it would be an element of you wanting me. I don't want to be here. You want me here. You think I have something to give. So I'll turn up work on time and I'll do my bits, but I'm not fucking shaving. And I'm not ironing my kit. So it's up to you whether you want me or not.
I love it.
You don't have to shave anymore. You're allowed a beard.
Oh, yeah, you are, aren't you? So I would shave just to piss them off. Whatever they wanted, I would do the opposite.
Do the opposite.
Got to go dressed like Hawkins, blue hair and piercings everywhere. That's what you do. Genuine question though. I think my answer to this, obviously we know that I'm going through that process at the moment, but I am genuinely having considerations the way the start of January's gone. But if it was a direct threat to the UK, then yes, in a heartbeat. If it was for somebody's phoning war overseas, then probably not. Probably not.
To be fair, mate, the reason I think, because if you think about it, mate, there's a reason why they kick you out at 40, because your body mate's been through it.
Yeah.
And mentally as well, you've been through the ringer. So what use any of us would be, right? Is questionable anyway. What I think they'll do is, I think they would have you doing civil stuff. So I think they would have you doing the fire brigade stuff again, helping out with that. They would have you driving HGV. They would have you doing civil stuff. I don't think it would be a case of, because let's face it, mate, anybody who's got PTSD, you can't lower it that low that you're taking all them lads back. If you're a triple
some of them
amputee,
I've seen.
If you're a triple amputee, what the fuck are you going to do with them?
Yeah, well,
there's like, do you know what I mean? Mate? There's
could be a boy.
Yeah, there's an absolute shit ton of people you couldn't take back anyway. So what would be the like? I don't understand what gaps they think they're filling.
I think you're right. Where it would be more stuff around here, around the UK. It would be a booster to police and emergency services. But genuinely, I think the older generation, they're going to use it to bolster training camps and to try and pass that knowledge on. Because if they suddenly need a recruitment drive, whether that's at gunpoint or a monetary incentive, they're going to need people to train these troops. And they'd rather there's somebody with experience, especially people who have served like yourself, Andy, to do the training. That's what I think.
But even that in itself, it's a specialist thing to be an instructor.
Definitely, like, I couldn't agree more. But I think you'll have one or two. But
I really don't see I don't know what purpose it would serve me, to be honest. And like I say, you would, and especially lads who got medically discharged and got treated like shit. The last person you want, mate, is someone like me in there. When you know me, especially when you're at work and everything's shit, and you've got me saying this is shit, and I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? And this is wank, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's shit.
You'd be the perfect instructor. I'd be buzzing if I'd got you as an instructor, Andy. I'd be well happy.
The whole thing, mate, would be it just wouldn't be good, mate. Like
all
the
I've got
interesting people like me
is the vision of you sat there like you were at the prepper meet, just leaning back, you know, when you were talking to our counsellor friend, and that's how I see you on the training camp, just in a deck chair.
100%, mate, that's what it'll be like. Exactly. Mate.
Here comes Corporal Sunshine.
I would, mate, to be fair, mate, I would happily go back in just to be a cunt.
So if you are
Chuckles.
conscripted and you're up in the northeast, just look out for Andy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to Andy being on my section.
I'll tell you what, mate, I would put it all on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I'd video all the stuff and just put it on YouTube of how shit it is and why I'm putting
Andy's
about in a pair
cunt
of jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm putting about in the jeans and a camouflage t-shirt. That's all I've been given.
A pair of
And everyone's
Crocs.
like, pair of furry Crocs. And everyone's like, Andy, where's your weapon? I just hold up a pointy stick. And I'm like, I've got to do this. This is serial number 132.
It's better to have people like you doing it though than trained survival instructors like Funky, right? That's probably the better option.
Hey, he's behind enemy lands now, mate, changing the world. He's in Greenland now.
Somewhere.
Yeah, waiting for the Americans to come.
On the American embassy balcony in Greenland.
I heard he served with him, mate, on the Siege of Basra. I think he was there. I think he took Fallujah single-handedly.
Let's play nice. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up.
Have you seen the inside of Colchester, Andy, by any chance?
Oof, no. Joking
The glass house. My uncle's on first name terms with some of them there. Hawkins, would you serve your country if it came to it?
If the enemy was on the beaches, yes, but no way am I leaving the UK to go and fight for Starmer and this Labour government.
You know what, though, mate? Weirdly, right? There's a 10% chance at me that really wants another medal.
I got enough.
Like, it really is, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's a weird 10% of me that thinks, oh, yeah, fuck it. I do another medal. You know what I mean? But then the other 90% of me is like, this would be absolute fucking ball ache.
But if you could be a cunt for 12 months and get a medal at the end of it,
that's win-win, mate. That is win-win. That.
It's like Dick Dastardly and Muttley here. All of the visions of the wee dog, Andy saying medals, yes.
Brian, would you fight for your country?
I would fight for my family, and that would be if the wolf's literally at the door. I would not willingly go abroad, and I'm 52 years old. I'm pretty much knackered. If I was going anywhere because of my
you've got another 13 years of life in you, according to the military.
Yeah, I would probably end up in the Remy, because the early part of my life was all on the tools. So that's probably the only kind of limited value I'd be in a workshop, either running it or whatever.
Yeah. John, you said you're waiting for your contract extension paperwork to see if you accept, but if the wolf was at the door, would you step up?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a very enjoyable 20 years in the military. There were some downsides to proper operational tours. Afghanistan and Gulf War II.
Did they put you up in a 4-star instead of a 5-star, John?
No, it was bed and breakfast. I'll tell you. No,
Where's the silver?
genuinely did some proper service, supporting the boys in black. So yeah, but I would do it all again. I had a very good time. I think I was an instructor at the RF College at Cranwell, so I think I would probably be put into that, initial recruitment. How to walk straight and swing your arms in time and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I'd do it.
And Andy was waiting to say something else then.
No, mate, just someone in the comments there, mate, said they'll jail you with a huge sentence and offer you military service as an option out of jail. Like the jails, mate, are already crammed anyway. Where are you going to force 100,000 people? Do you know what I mean?
It's a terrible idea anyway. Listen, anyone who thinks it's going to be like the film Dirty Dozen, it's not going to be. It's going to be like Bad Lads Army, and they're just going to be full of idiots, and all they're going to do is put real servicemen at risk if you send them abroad. And using prisoners is unless it's literally for cannon fodder, using prisoners is a bad.
Evil girl says I can come back.
You can come back.
Yeah, she said I'm fitting in well on the panel.
All right, okay, there you go.
That's an invitation, I think.
She's basically just called you an idiot then.
That's not a compliment, John. That's an insult. Thank
we'll have
you.
words later.
Thank you for the question, Deegs. Question: have you thought about a mini bunker shelter? How many times are you gonna ask the same question, Tony?
I think he was just desperate for an answer.
If you had all your preps vanish, how long would it take to get back to your current level, and what would you do differently? Brian, I burnt yours down in a scenario we did, so I'll go to you first.
Mate, I'd spend the first 3 days crying. I'd literally just sitting in the garden crying, looking at the ashes. How long would it take? Shit, I don't know. There's a significant investment in money, put it that way.
Yeah.
It would take me at least a year of not doing anything else. So no holidays, nothing, cutting back in household expenses. It would take me about a year and about 20 grand.
Wow. There you go.
There's no way at all, mate. Donna's going for that. No way.
Yeah.
There's no way you're getting away with doing nothing and not having a holiday.
Bring out the button mushroom and show what I'm worth.
Oh, Andy, if you went to zero when it comes to prepping, how long would it take to get back to your current level, and what would you do differently?
It would take me a long time, mate. If you think I've been doing it for what, 11 years? So I suppose in theory it would take me 11 years, to get back to where I was. What would I do differently? I would probably
not buy that DD tarp.
Oh yeah, fuck DD tarps, assholes. I would probably go power mate first if I was going to do something differently. Yeah, I think I would start with that because I think that's probably the most expensive thing. So I would start with that and then fill in the other stuff afterwards.
Cool, John. If you lost all your undocumented tins and your mystery amount of food
and all my first aid supplies, it would take a long time. I've been sort of prepping properly for probably 8-9 years now. So a significant period of time. Also, as Brian mentioned, there's also the cost. You can't just buy this stuff in a one. What would I do differently? I would probably just spend a couple of days getting a proper plan to incrementally increase my resilience from 3 days to 7 days to a month, because the way it just sort of evolved. My prepping, my preps evolved over time, so there wasn't really a proper plan right at the beginning. So I'd probably organize what I purchased in the right order this time.
You could always just ring room service, John.
I could. Hey,
he's like a dog with a bone, John. That's
anyone can be wet and cold in a trench. It takes skill to get money out of the MOD.
That's very true, mate. That's very true.
Hawkins, if you lost everything, how long would it take to get back to your current level, and what would you do differently?
It's took me a decade to get where I am, and I used to have a job that paid me a lot more money, so I had a lot of money back then to spend on preps that I don't have now. And now I've got a daughter. So it'd take me a hell of a long time to get back to this level. Probably never would, actually. What would I do differently? Do you know what? I'd probably just say, fuck it, give up, and just become a normal person and not bother prepping. Because I'd be too upset about the amount of money that I've lost.
Wow. Become a normal person. I love it. For me, same answer as Brian. It'd take me a couple of years at least. But on the same par as Hawkins, I used to get paid more. I never used to have 3,500 children to pay for. So yeah, I don't know. I genuinely, if it all went today, I don't know how I would really struggle to get anywhere near what I've got now. So I would probably prep differently completely. And I would probably go down the planning and survivalist route and then just try and get bits on a weekly basis. Like I say to everyone else, prep to your means. If I do a £20 shop, I do a £25 shop and £5 worth goes away. It'll take a long time, but I would definitely prep a lot differently. It'd be a lot more frugal prepping, going out, looking, foraging, stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be very difficult.
Replenish my preps in 12 hours. I'll wait till Brian goes to Florida next. I know where he lives. Get a removals van. Load up.
You could just lift the shed if we get a fork, a decent telescopic fork. We could just lift the shed.
Imagine he comes back from Florida, goes into his garden, it's all gone.
It's just 2 tracks.
And that's when I shot him, Your Honour.
He deserves it.
Great, Gala. Thank you for the £5 super chat. If it's all going wrong, the bombs are about to drop. What pies are you saving for important morale raising? Them ones you brought to the meet, what were they? Lamb and mint.
Oh mate, they were something else. Them.
They were good, then, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, Gala's pies. That's what we'll save.
I've already asked him, mate, to bring some of the Scottish meat.
Have you?
Yeah.
A truckload.
Yeah, bring them all.
That was such a good night at the fire. That was so funny.
Yeah, it was a great night, mate. That.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
The hippies trying to shoot me down my drone with lasers and logs.
That was the Midlands. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Midlands one. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun. Any pies you'd save, John?
No, I mean, I got the old fried bentos pies in a tin. Got a couple of dozen of those, but no, nothing springs to mind.
No, not a pie man.
Not great into pies.
Hawkins. I don't want to ask Brian what kind of pie he would.
Yeah,
I can predict the answer.
Steak and gravy.
I feel judged.
Sorry, what did you say, Hawkins?
Steak and gravy, mate. We'll keep it PC.
Steak and gravy. Go on, Brian.
Well,
what kind of hairless pies would you say?
You uncouth yob. No, I don't even have any free bentos pies in stock anymore. I went from a stack about 20 to 30 high to none. I don't stock any. Not one.
Shocking.
So I've none.
Why?
The shelf life wasn't that great. There were many explosives trying to cook them unless you've got an oven. Nah, I just changed away to something that was a bit better. So I ditched them in their entirety.
Interesting. Andy, do you need an answer, or are you the same as me? Gala's pies, is that the answer?
100%, mate. Yeah, those lamb and mint ones.
Yeah, they were spot on. Check. Thank you, Gala, for the £5 super chat. Sorry to everyone else. He jumps the queue with the super chat.
I've got to ask: is it Gala or is it Galah? Is it Great Galah? Like the Aussies
Great
say, you Great Galah.
I don't know.
I mean, we've all met him. We know his real name, so I would call him that.
Yeah, Pie Man. That's the
Rodney.
real name. John Pyman. Thank you for the question, Resilience Man. Any of you guys in the UK get any chance to play Pathways?
I've no idea what that is.
Anyone got a clue? No clue. You'll have to give us more of a clue. Sorry, Rob. Question for John. As someone with a bit more insider knowledge, would he say people should start to prep now?
Well, absolutely. Start prepping 5 years ago, but no, seriously. Everyone has roughly 3 days of food in their house. It's the water that would be the issue. You're going to have enough in the cupboards. There is a section of society I know that has absolutely nothing and lives day to day. But and I would go just do it small increments. Just think, what do I need for 3 days? What do I need for a week? What do I need for 2 weeks? And just do it gradually. That's sort of standard prepping stuff, really. There's nothing I can really add above what's already known.
Do you actively try and promote it in any way, John? Do you tell family,
absolutely.
friends?
Oh, no, I don't. Sorry, no, I don't promote it with family and friends. Mrs. Welsh Pepper's on side. She's a little bit more positive than ambivalent. So that's,
right.
She's sort of a little bit more than tolerant. I do try and promote it within my work. I banged on about the Scottish government, making the 3 days food and water request, shall we call it, to households. I almost every week. I pull my hair out over it. It goes, I put papers up to ministers, and it just gets ignored. So there is work. The civil service is doing work on your behalf to try and convince ministers that something needs to be done. I think the traction is getting there. I think we've reached a turning point at a government level, is that they're slowly realizing that they can't just ignore it. That isn't visible to the public, but yeah, the wheels are starting to turn.
Cool. Thank you very much for the answer there. Hope that helps, Andrew. Do you know anyone in the UK building a shelter? Is he taking the piss? Is he taking the piss?
Fool me once.
Silence, Tony. So what exactly caused the water shortage over there? Anyone want to give an insight to our American friend of the water situation? Anyone who knows the ins and outs?
There was two reasons given. One was an electrical fault and a pumping station, and then the other one was frost damage and burst pipes caused by inclement weather. The reason why it's been such a problem is catastrophic underinvestment in infrastructure in that part of the country, and arguably in most of the water infrastructure in the UK.
There you go. That's as good as we can say for that one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the water company is the worst performing company in the UK. They've had millions in fines for not meeting the metrics.
No surprising. No, not surprised one bit.
Here's the thing, though. See, when they fine them, they don't give a shit, because it's the people that get their bills put up to pay for the fines, so it doesn't help.
Yeah. Question: if the UK gets attacked, what would government protocol look like for us, i.e. curfews, food limitations, etc., depending on the type of attack, obviously? Anyone want to jump in?
I think it could be all or neither of them, depending on the nature of the attack. Is it a terrorist incident? Is it a conventional attack, cratering all the runways and taking out the hardened shelters? Or have we just been nuked? It could be this, or it could be up here, and everything in between. So it's how long's a bit of string, really.
Yeah. Curfews is a interesting one. After the lockdown and stuff like that, whether people would pay attention and stuff like that. Obviously, open source wise, John, is there anything documented protocol wise for like locking down the nation if something happened?
Yeah, there's the Civil Contingencies Act. Again, this is open source. You can just search Civil Contingencies Act, Gov UK type thing, and it will come up. And that specifies what the Cat 1 and Cat 2 responders will do. Cat 1 responders are all the blue light people, including the Coast Guard, who are the fourth emergency service. Cat 2 responders are electricity companies, oil and gas companies, things like that. So you can get a good insight there. They do have emergency powers. The UK government can invoke martial law. It has to be voted through Parliament, but they can do that. The COVID inquiry, that actually, if you really want to go into it, if you look at the recommendations from the COVID inquiry, they make there's a lot of recommendations there about what the future should look like to make the UK more resilient. Curfew, the lockdowns were mentioned as actually quite a bad idea, that weren't necessary and didn't really work. So I think curfews, this is my personal opinion and not opinion of the government, is that I think curfews would be sort of a last resort, really. I think the damage has been done with lockdowns. The public feels so let down with the way lockdowns came into effect and what little effect they had, that if the government suddenly said you've all got to stay in your house for 22 hours a day, I think people would just ignore it. That's my personal view. Food limitations, as we discussed the other night, but just for people who weren't there then, supermarkets would close their doors straight away. If it's something like a national power outage, they would just close their doors to protect their staff. And their rationale is that they can open a full store a lot quicker than they can open an empty store, because they'd have to restock it and all the supply chain would be out of kilter. That's about it, really. Yeah. Can't really say much more than that.
Cool.
I've got a question, John. I don't know if you can answer it. Is there any provision the government has made for, other than sequestering supplies in time of emergency from distribution centres and food storage warehouses, from bringing in hoarding rules that would specifically target or catch preppers out, as in you're only allowed to hold this amount of food in the house, and if you've got any more than that, you've got to hand into a collection point. Is there anything like that ever been talked about or floated that you're aware of, or that you can tell us?
Not that I've seen. Just going back to the distribution centre thing, the government can, under emergency powers, put them under government control so they can effectively requisition them and distribute them as they see fit. There was a storm in Scotland maybe 3 years ago where the government directed Co-op and Tesco and all those sorts of supermarkets what food to send north on the train because the M6 was closed at some point. So they basically had a massive goods vehicle train and they put eggs, bread and milk on it. And that wasn't really the government ordering them to. They just said, we think you should think about what you send up there and make sure it includes staples, and the supermarkets went, yeah, okay, and they complied. The problem we would have is, as we discussed the other night, who would distribute the food. They can requisition as many distribution centres as they like, but if the supply chain is collapsed because the lorry drivers are on curfew, or all the power's out and all the roads are closed, that's the issue, is getting it around, because the army aren't coming.
Yeah. Cool. Hope that answers what you're saying there, Brian. He's just trying to find out if he's got a little dot on a map somewhere in a government office saying this guy has 327 power banks. Should we need them?
It's not so much.
Go on.
I was going to say it's not so much that I don't think I'm on a target list for that per se. I think everybody in this channel is now on Alf and a fucking list, that's for sure. But I think
bullying list apparently.
Well, public enemy number one, Mike. I think. I know there is rules in hoarding in times of war and stuff like that. I wonder if they try and demonise you and say, if it was a protracted conflict, right? If it was a shit hit the fan event, everyone's busted, all bets are off. But if you were in a conventional war that went on for months, if not years, would they institute something along the lines of hoarding? You're not allowed to have any more than X amount of stuff in the house. Any more than that, it's going to get taken to a central collection point, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm fuzzy on. But it would only be in a niche circumstance, like a protracted conventional war where they had enough command and control to actually do stuff like that. If it was shit at the fan, none of that would happen. Again,
this is my personal view, not a view of the government, is that I think it would just be so difficult to logistically administer. They're not going to go after someone who's got even 100 cans of beans. They need hundreds of thousands of cans of beans. So they would target the distribution centres. They would also, we've seen it ourselves, the artificial rationing is introduced by the supermarket. We had a quote the other day where you couldn't buy more than 2 bottles of water. Can in a supermarket. So the supermarkets would ration it of their own volition. No one's telling them to do that. They're just trying to be fair,
like they did in COVID as well. It was like 2 or 3 tins per family, per person.
Yeah. So the rationing would be introduced without the government having to do anything.
Cool, fair point.
Awesome.
Urban Prepper Detective, what training have you done to manage fear, anxiety for yourselves and more importantly your family members if there's a serious situation? Andy?
In terms of that, mate, like I've said before, but it's hard to say how you'll react unless you put yourself in those situations.
Yep.
You have to have been in certain situations, mate, to know how you handle fear, know how you handle conflict, conflict management, aggression, acts of violence. You need to be in those situations to know how you will handle them. And there's only certain ways, mate, you can achieve that.
Go work on the doors in Newcastle for 6 months.
So I suppose the only training that I've done, mate, in terms of that is stuff I experienced whilst I was serving abroad. That's the only things that I've done that. And there isn't. I suppose you could read all the books, mate, you wanted, and you could do all the mindset stuff you wanted, but it's totally different, mate. Putting into
practice. As that adrenaline hits, you don't know, do you? Till that adrenaline.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. They always say, mate, every plan's great till you get punched in the face, and it's true. You're going to think you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then someone does and that's a D, and you think, where the fuck's that come from? And your whole plan goes out the window. So
In the same respect, what we used to say, like for when I did kickboxing, that is like they want to get you in the ring as soon as possible so you can get punched in the face and you realize you're not made of glass, because that takes a lot of that fear and anxiety of that conflict away because you've been in that situation. So get punched in the face is our advice. Hawkins?
I'm quite lucky, I suppose. I don't suffer from anxiety or anything like that. I don't worry about things.
Fucking hope for them.
I quite enjoy it when things go Pete Tong. Yeah, I do well if accidents and things happen, like workplace accidents and things, sometimes quite large.
Oh, good. Jimmy's lost a leg.
Yes,
get the tourniquets out.
TQs out. Like, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I'm a mental health first aider, so I can obviously counsel family members and stuff. Although my missus said she'd probably rather jump off a bridge than let me mental health first aider. So, yeah.
Don't put that line on your CV. Just throwing that out.
That's the top line. No wonder nobody ever replies to me emails. Yeah, I think it's all down to the individual, and we're all built differently. We all react differently. Some people can be very anxious about things and worry and stress. I don't. Yeah, hopefully I wouldn't if there was a big situation.
Cool. I think we're generally all kind of the same. You're not going to know until you're in that situation. Train, do what you can, put yourself in situations, you know, even like when I did, like if you do a long distance hike or anything like that, put yourself in them situations that you've still got a safety net, so you're not totally out there, but it will just give you a better feeling for that kind of situation. In the interest of moving forward, we'll try and get through these last few quick. No more questions, please, now, guys, because people need bedtimes. On the topic of radios, what is a good set? Need to get some for keeping in contact when on our land, not looking to get into license. Just regular PMR walkie-talkies then, right? Depends on the size of the land. Hawkins?
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Just a set of license-free PMRs, they'll do for you. If you're just on some empty sort of fieldy, landy things, 1/2 kilometre easy on them. So, and then if you find that's not good enough, then get your license and start banging 25 watt out instead.
Do you need a license for a CB radio these days?
No, anyone can use that.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Maybe vehicle set for CB radio set.
I never knew that.
Yeah, CB. Anyone can. Citizens abandon it. Anyone can throw a radio set for that. But
this is why I was trying to give it a revival, but you were all like, no. Cool. Thanks for the question. Does the UK have an emergency broadcasting frequency? I'm feeling a theme going on for these last 3 questions. Hawkins?
Well, funny enough, I was just reading an article that Droitwich shuts down this year, probably towards the latter end of the year, which is a shame because that's the long wave broadcasting thing down south for Radio 4. So effectively, once that's gone, the only things that will stay online are probably like your local BBC FM transmitters, which require all the individual broadcasting towers, which are dotted all over the place, to be kept up with battery or generator, and also the comms that are linking to them. So I imagine most of them now are probably a fiber link. So the telephone exchanges and stuff are going to have to stay up. So I do wonder if there was a nationwide grid down post Droitwich going down at the end of the year. I don't think the FM stations will stay on too long, to be honest. So
what's the have you got any plans for that, John? Do you know of anything about this? Because obviously part of the kits is they always say to have a wind-up radio so you can figure out what's going on.
No, I can give you a definitive answer for this. Again, it's open source. BBC Radio 2 and BBC Radio 4 are the 2 frequencies that the BBC is mandated by law to keep operating for this very purpose. So the government has issued the government issues the BBC every year a list of lines that they're allowed to transmit, pre-approved by the government, and it could be just as simple as take shelter, stay in your home, or anything. But they have a list, and then the government will tell them which ones to transmit, and it will basically BBC Radio 4 and BBC Radio 2 will be turned into an emergency broadcast system.
But the problem with that is that the long wave station as in Droitwich, which can reach the entire UK, is going offline this year. So it's then dependent on all the smaller transmitting towers, the little FM transmitter towers. And honestly, they're just sat on top of a hilltop in a little old bloody hut that was built 60 years ago, and they're not maintained properly. I've got guys in my mesh course sort of thing who maintain them and stuff, and we have conversations about it. They ain't staying up. Yeah, the BBC will give their lines and stuff, but they don't own all those little transmitting towers. A lot of them are owned by third parties, and they just rent space on them.
Yeah, it's probably one of these things we won't find out until it happens. But the BBC is legally required to keep Radio 2 and Radio 4 transmitting. I don't know for how long.
Interesting. I wonder what if they'll put anything in place after it closes, the Droitwich one.
It's too expensive to run, mate. It's too old. They don't make the kit anymore, all the spare parts for it. They've been using up everything to keep it going for so long, and it's like a 400 kilowatt, maybe more. So it uses a hell of a lot of power, and nowadays it just doesn't get the use. So yeah, off she goes.
Cool. Wishful Bumblebee said Dorset grab bag guidelines say take enough for up to 7 days. How big of a bag do I need? If it's 7 days worth of food, then yeah, it's interesting. But if you did want to put a bag of 7 days, it wouldn't be impossible. But you need to really think about compacting that food down to something lightweight like freeze dried, or something compact like MREs. But even 7 days worth of MREs, that adds hell of a weight, wouldn't it?
No, that would be a nightmare, mate. 7 days of, like, if you take the British Army rations, that would be a wedge of weight. It would be huge.
You wouldn't have any other kit. It'd just be food and a cooker, and that's it.
Yeah, there'd be some weight that.
I think this is sort of local resilience forum stuff where they're expecting you to bug out to a centre, a welfare centre,
right,
like a leisure centre where you're going to be provided with food and water. You just need to be able to look after yourself, hygiene, medicine, clothes, that sort of thing.
So if you would say if it was for that, to follow that guidance, it wouldn't be food and water, it would be everything else kind of thing?
It would be your personal effects for 7 days, yeah.
Yeah. Sod that. Just don't go to a centre. Have another plan in place.
It's particularly relevant in sort of Portsmouth and Plymouth, where they dig up a World War II bomb nearly every week. They found one last week, didn't they? They had a 400-metre exclusion zone. So it's that sort of scenario where you're out of your house for a couple of days as a precaution. That's what the guidance aimed at.
There you go. What about Eastern European countries not in the EU? Can you buy from them?
I think this was a question based on antibiotics, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, follow the laws of the country you're in. We cannot advise you any different.
And no medical advice here. It's just opinions.
Yeah. What we do is not what you should do. Cadbury's cream egg, how do you eat yours? We all know how Brian eats his. Says.
I think I've got piles now.
Nice. Do they have a look at you to check? They have to look at you to check. I'm not sure what this is.
Pass.
It comes up with a question mark because they put a question mark on it. If war may have to evacuate children away from cities like World War II, do you think this could happen again? I imagine would be modeled partly on accepting Ukrainians into the homes model. I don't know. I don't think they'd get away with it anymore. It'd be like,
I don't think it's even
as soon as you volunteer to take children into your house, you'd have 3,000 paedophile hunters off Facebook outside.
The Friends of Jimmy Savile Society for helping war orphans.
Yes, exactly. Is there anything in place like this, John?
Answer carefully.
Not that I know of, and also it's either going to be the world is going to be turned to glass, in which case there's no point evacuating anyone, or it's going to be a hybrid attack where all the infrastructure remains in place. So I don't envisage a scenario like World War II where you've got 100 bomber raids over London.
No.
Needing to evacuate children.
War's gone unless. Yeah. It's spread across Europe to the point they're on the French coast with short-range rockets and missiles and stuff like that. Then, yeah, I tend to agree.
Different drones crossing the channel.
Yeah.
I mean,
but don't forget them, mate. We've got Mike. We could just send them down there and they just start dropping out the sky.
Like Moses. He parted the drones with flames.
I mean, London is jury modelling, isn't it? So, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, we just write London off. It's fine. The Ghostbusters never advertised their number. Who you going to call? Nobody. Thank you, Phil. Insightful as ever. League of Gentlemen reference. If the government introduced conscription, would that include lads with autism? To a degree, yes, because everybody is kind of on the spectrum, so there'd probably be a benchmark. I would say it's going to be how capable you are and stuff like that. There's different levels of autism. My stepbrother is extremely high on the spectrum, but I've got friends that you wouldn't even know. So it's all going to depend. It'll be individual tests and stuff like that. It's a good question, though, Andy. What do you think the criteria for conscription would be in this country? Like
2 legs, 2 arms.
Yeah, I mean, is it going to be as basic as that, or do you think they'd go through the same sort of selection process as regulars? Is probably my question.
I think you're going to have to go through, mate, the same. To be fair, mate, I'm thinking with it with common sense, so this is going to be the way it would be.
Yeah.
But
How dare you?
You're going to have to do the same medical standard, mate, because if you don't, the instant you get on the front line and start doing the fighting, all you are then is a liability.
Yeah.
And you're taking up more resources and you're taking up more people to fix what the issue is. So it's all good and well dropping the standard. But then as soon as you hit the front line, you're a liability for the man next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he's injured, you then take another. So you're losing 3 people out of the fight. So at some point, there's going to have to be a conversation of, if you bring it down to this level, it's just going to be a hindrance. Like there's no logistical advantage to lowering the medical standard to push people through who are going to cost you in the long run. I just don't see. But 100%, now I've said that'll be wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I say, it's common sense.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So, but on the one with autism, mate, I would imagine there's lads and lasses now, mate, who are extremely high functioning.
Yeah.
In some type of roles there, whether it be satellite image referencing or topographic maps or the intelligence side. I would imagine there's loads of them already in.
Yeah,
doing that job.
I have no doubt, definitely. And people that have joined 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't as tested and stuff like that. So these people that would be lower end of the scale wouldn't have even been noticed, and they probably is perfect people for coming through training and following instructions exactly and stuff like that. It's almost like it's a tailored lifestyle for people like that who need routine.
Yeah,
so there'll probably be a lot of them in there that have been in there a long time.
Like John said there, mate, if it's going to be hybrid warfare and a lot of it's going to be cyber attacking, then the medical standards don't really matter, do they? If you're just going to be sat in a computer doing that side of stuff.
You flying a kite, Brian?
No, I'm just pissed about with these.
He's mesmerised. He's mesmerised me by the flash of light.
Are we boring you, Brian?
I switched off about 5 minutes ago. I'm like, fuck it. What time does Babecast start at the night? Screw it.
Ooh, red thing.
Oh, God.
I was in a happy place there. You just ruined it.
But you put everybody else in a happy place who got to see your full screen going.
Shiny. Shiny.
Do you know, I was actually looking at rat packs and stuff up there, and I'm reading dates on them, and my fingers I'm doing this with these little bungee cords. I'm going, I was away in one wee world.
Excellent. There you go. Well prepared, is Brian. Well prepared. Gentlemen, before we close up for the evening, is there any questions you'd like to put to the panel yourselves before we end? Speak now, forever hold your peace. No, you're all really active. Brian's like still thinking about flying MRE kites.
I will answer one question or somebody posted that we've not got to. He was asking, he's got a Delta 2 Max and he's got 2 500-watt panels from City Plumbing. Can he plug them straight in? Yes, you can. At least I had bungee cords, not imaginary ones. Fuck you, mate. So yeah, you can plug them in, mate.
Excellent. Well, if you guys have got no more to say, yes, Mark, yes, they are putting the military callback age to 65. We're waiting to see whether some of these lads, if it actually comes through, if they notify them, or if it's just going to be one of those things that implements. Some of the other questions, sorry we can't get to them all. Appreciate you all being here and giving your time. Andy, any final words on resilience and your goodbyes to the peoples, please?
I think in terms of resilience, mate, focus on. Everybody gets focused on me. I need to be resilient for if a nuclear bomb happens, or if this happens or that happens. Like I was talking to Rach today, mate, about a bug out plan and how far she was going to go. Build your resilience plan, mate, around what you will need to achieve. So if you only need to go 3 miles, like I said to Rach today, mate, that if your bug out plan's 3 miles, the most dangerous place to be is out in the open. So you have to work out how to get from A to B as fast as you can over the course of 3 miles. So build your resilience around 3 miles. Go as fast as you can for 3 miles and get used to how uncomfortable that's going to be for you. You know, there's no point doing a marathon when you can do 3 miles a lot quicker. And obviously it's a lot shorter distance.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd stick to. And yeah, thanks for everyone coming tonight. Chat was great as usual. And thanks everybody for the questions, because the Q&A is obviously driven by you. If nobody asks questions, then we're just sat there watching Brian play with bungee cords for an hour and a half. So thanks, guys.
John, any final thoughts on resilience for the audience? 188 people still here watching, and your goodbyes?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the invite. Really enjoyed it. Good banter. Missed the banter that I used to get in the military, so it's good to have a bit of banter. Everything you can prep just buys you time to come up with a plan to survive a bit longer, or to come up with an alternative. So if you got 3 days, that buys you 3 days worth of thinking time to come up with a more sustainable option. If you can have a month's worth of preps, even better, because it's probably resolved itself by then. But yeah, as Andy said, we're probably not prepping for all-out nuclear war. We're probably prepping for the lights going out for a week.
Yeah.
So that just be realistic.
Excellent. Thank you. It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure to have you on here as well, John. Brian, any final thoughts? Not about kites or bungees, and your goodbye?
Damn it. Just on the resilience front, and for me, resilience and confidence come hand in hand. So the more resilient you can be, and that starts from your first tin of beans to your first free workplace health and safety course you've been on, your first aid course at work. Every little skill that you gain, every conversation you have in Discord, or every chat that you link into and ask a question, it builds your resilience. And as your resilience builds, it builds your confidence. Because if something does go wrong, whether it's a power cut for a day or a week, the more resilient you are, the more confident you are, people will draw comfort from that round about you. And that's part of the battle.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Hawkins, any final thoughts and goodbyes?
Get your comms up. So anyone who's from like Darlington to Doncaster to Liverpool, that sort of area, North Wales, Stoke, is it? Whatever. Get yourselves on Meshcore, so I've got someone to have a bit of banter with when the power's out.
There you go. When the power's out, not if, when. Yep. Thank you from me to everyone that's joined this evening. There's been well over 200 people in here the whole time, which is absolutely incredible numbers. You guys keep all of our channels growing, which is awesome, which gets the message of prepping and resilience out to many more people. We're all here to teach as well as to learn. None of us are experts, so we're more than happy for feedback. So leave comments and everything like that. Go and check out the guys' channels and come and join us on Discord. One little plug from me. I am doing the West Highland Way for charity for the Bradley Foundation for kids with cancer. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Sorry, it's just gone out of my head all of a sudden. But it's a really good cause. I'm doing the West Highland Way in full kit. Hopefully Andy's joining me now. He's on the fitness wagon, so we'll get a couple of us doing it.
Somebody has to record everything that's going to go wrong.
Yes, he's gonna document my demise. There you go. Andy's gonna be there to document my demise for you. But yeah, you can donate through Just Giving, which is the best way to donate. If you can click Gift Aid and give the details, the government put a bit towards it as well, which is awesome. If you don't want to do that, PayPal's the option as well. So loads of ways you can donate. And yes, if we raise, I put a thing on the Discord before, much to people's delight. If we raise 500, my legs will be waxed again. If we raise 800, my chest and legs will be waxed. And if we raise 1,200, I think it is, which is less than what we raised last year, so it's a low target, then it'll be belly, chest, and legs all being waxed. So
you should probably read the chat at this point.
2,000, Brian gets to do it with contact adhesive.
I should probably read the chat at this point. And if we get to the Brian will wax Mike live on air. No, he won't. No, he won't. But yeah. All the links can be found in most of my videos and stuff like that, or Miss Worm will have already posted links in there as well. So I do appreciate every single one of yours, and don't forget, like, share, subscribe, whichever channel you're watching on. We really appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in another Fireside really soon. Goodbye.
There's folks.
In the glow of embers dance, we've prepared for every chance, living simple, living true, with the dream we all pursue. Living simple, living true, with a dream we all pursue.
I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian! I'm Brian, and so's my wife! Right, take him away and release him. No, I'm only joking. I'm not really.